Every time that I tweet anything out or that anyone posts anything, there's always that atheist that says, but there's no evidence. So Michael's just gonna go over that one a little bit.
Yeah, well, what they should say is, I don't think the evidence that you present is good enough. Because when they say that, it's a condescending way to say it. Obviously, theists present evidence. I spend a hell of a lot of time presenting evidence on my channel. So this idea that there's no evidence is just a total misrepresentation of what's actually happening. It's not like theists are just going around saying, you believe in God because it feels really good. We obviously are presenting evidence. And if you're not familiar with the literature, then you're obviously just ignorant. So obviously, a good amount of atheists, I don't know how many, realize theists present evidence. But they would rather say that than just saying, I don't think your evidence is good enough. For example, I'm not a young earth creationist. When a young earth creationist says, I have evidence of a young earth, I try not to say there's no evidence of a young earth. I try to say the evidence that young earth creationists present isn't good evidence, or it isn't sufficient. So it's kind of a rude remark, and it shows they're not really paying attention, or they're not even trying. In reality, there's tons of evidence for God's existence. The debate should be on is the evidence sufficient enough to warrant belief in God? So, I mean, we could go over tons of evidence, from contingency arguments, moral arguments, fine-tuning arguments, the resurrection of Jesus, evidence for there. So obviously we present evidence, but they don't want to acknowledge that. And if you come across an atheist who does that, chances are they just don't know how to actually address the evidence from theism, and they'd rather just pretend there is no evidence.